Hi, welcome to iTeach 3D. My name is Brad, and today we're going to learn how to make a mask in Photoshop. We're going to make a black and white mask so that you can apply it in 3ds Max or in UDK or some other either real-time game engine or a 3D program. So let's go ahead and get started. This is a pretty quick and easy procedure if you know what to do, but I'll give you a couple tips and also a couple Photoshop tips while I'm working on it. I'm working in Photoshop CS3, but you can use this pretty much in any version of Photoshop, all the way up to CS whatever current is, 6 or 7 or whatever. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to make File, New, and I'm going to make a something that'll fit in a real-time game engine. So it's got to be a power of 2, and I'm going to use 1024 by 1024, and I'm going to use pixels. Let's rename it Mask. And if it doesn't say pixels here, for instance, if it says something else like inches, let me show you where to change that. But we'd like 1024 by 1024 pixels. I'll say OK. It shows up here. And I always like to pull a little bit out in case I have to go beyond the border for just some reason. If you'd like to, if it's inches, like you'll notice up here that my ruler is in inches, but I'd like to change that to pixels. If you just simply go to Edit, Preferences, and then, whoops, you can't see it, it's off the screen there, but Units and Rulers. So Edit, Preferences, Units and Rulers. Then when it comes up here, the ruler, if you will just say pixels, then I'll say OK. And now you can see that it's in pixels up here on the ruler and going down the side. So, and then anytime now I try to create something new, it'll always give me pixels as the default dimension size. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I would like to, in making a mask, you really need black and white colors. So if your colors are something else here, just click on the little swatch, the black and white swatch. It changes your colors to the default foreground and background of black and white. Then what we'll do is we'll use a filter. So we'll go up and say Filter and Render and then Clouds. And what it does is it makes kind of this noise, random noise generator, and it looks kind of like clouds. And you can use this one, but it will randomly make a black and white filter like this. I can go back up and I could just say clouds. It puts whatever filter you did, it just puts it right here again, or I could hit Control F. And so I'll hit Control F a couple times until I get one that I like, and that looks okay. Then when we're done here, I want to separate. I want to make anything that's white, I want to make it whiter, and anything that's dark or black, I want to make it blacker. So we're going to be separating this so it's not so cloudy. We'll be making it more distinctly black and white. There's two ways you can do this. I'll go up here into Image Adjustments, and I can adjust the curves here, which you'll see my input. So watch as I change these now. So I'm going to take the little black tab here, and as I move it to the center, notice that anything that is dark, it gets darker. And then I've got some white here, so I'll take this and it'll move it this way, and anything that's white gets whiter. So I'm going to move those really close to the center of each other right there, and I'll just say OK. You know what? I'm going to show you another way to do this as well. But you can see how this kind of separates everything. So I'll cancel this. Another way to do it as well, Image Adjustments. You can also adjust the levels. So if I go into Levels, and here's a histogram, and as I take the black piece here, I will drag it more towards the center, and the same thing happens. Or I can take the white one and drag it closer to the center as well. And you'll notice, just like before in the curves, we get that separation of black and white colors there. So I'll say OK. Now it does leave a little artifacting on the edges there. They're kind of like aliased edges. And they're kind of rough. And if you'd like there's little artifacts there. If you'd like smoother edges, so if I crank this up, you can see there's just, I'd like it a little bit cleaner than that. So, and it leaves, here's one. All this stuff there. So if I'd like this a little bit cleaner, let me show you what I do. Is I actually blur it a little bit. So I'll go into Filter and I'll go into Blur, and I just put a small Gaussian blur on it. So I'll take this, here's the preview, so I can move it all around to see, oh yeah, if I like it that way or not. And so I'll adjust it until I see what I like. You can either blur it a lot or you can blur it just a little. It's really up to you. So and so if I blur it a lot, you can take the preview off or put the preview on. So anyway, I'll blur it just a little bit more like that. We'll say OK. It blurs it, and then if I go ahead and apply the curves to it again and clean it up just a little bit more, it gets it quite a bit cleaner than what we did the first time. So just a little tip. Now you can see I get much cleaner edges, get anti-aliasing there. It still leaves a few little islands right there, but you know what, I'm okay with that for what I'm going to use it for. And then I'll just say OK. And so that's how I clean up my mask. It's really quick and easy to do, as you can see, and I'll just simply save it. File, Save As, and I will save it in my iTeach 3D folder. There it is. Just call it Mask PSD. Now, if you're going to use it in a game engine, you can keep it as a PSD. I like to save things as a PNG, so I'll just save it as a PNG, and we're good to go. So anyway, so that's how you create a black and white mask for use in a 3D engine or a 3D modeling program. So hope you learned something, and let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.